How's it going, everybody? So, I'm not sure whether I should give a disclaimer because, the way I got the footage was a little different this time, but that really shouldn't mean that my findings are any less accurate. Kind of feels like a cheap excuse, but still, I checked things as thorough as I could, but some things might be off after all. First of all, the patch notes that we got for testing grounds were a little weird, not in regards to the content, but in the way that they were worded. They did mention the charge portion of the heavies, but that this means that the first heavy is now 700 milliseconds is somehow hidden in there. So yes, the heavy openers are slower now, but the charged heavy openers are 100 milliseconds faster. Measuring charged attacks, especially the combo ones, is always a pain in the ass because the stamina drain doesn't occur at the start of the attack but in the middle of it. So it's always a little weird to find the starting time. The light attacks are as mentioned in the patch notes, it's a triple 500 millisecond chain. Combo heavies should have stayed the same. I don't know why I got 500 milliseconds for the second combo heavy. Should be 600 and they didn't mention speeding them up. So take that as you will. Fully charged combo ones are still 1200. Nothing changed there. Okay, now for all the feint timings. That's been a huge point of discussion for Cent ever since. He needs better feint timings. And more believable feints has also been a term that's been thrown around for quite some time now. So, all the heavy feint timings are what we'd expect, 400 milliseconds before impact. Same goes for the combo heavy, feinting at 200, so now that I think about it, they're probably 600 milliseconds after all. And the fully charged ones at 800 respectively. But I'll recheck the normal combo ones next time I get a chance. But yeah, overall the feint animations aren't very believable, especially the neutral heavies. He still has the issue that he always does the full charge animation, unlike Hitokiri who has very confusing timings. And a big part are his animations. Centurion is simply lacking in that department. I might not have had people delaying the feints optimally, but I felt like I could actually react to the fully charged unblockables. Timing wise, the same goes for all soft feints to guard break as well. All timings are exactly the same as hard feints. Now for the guard break vulnerability of his neutral heavies. This might come as a surprise because the patch notes wording is different to how we usually give the guard break vulnerability. The patch notes are correct, but they gave us the 300 millisecond value. And yes, you are immune to guard break for the last 300 milliseconds of the move, which makes it a 400 millisecond vulnerability window on a 700 millisecond attack. I feel like I have that moment in almost every recent frame check video, so once again, why? Why is that a thing again? Gladiator's heavies remain unchanged, 700 millisecond heavy with 100 millisecond of guard break vulnerability. I don't want to have that conversation again. Make it consistent, please. The new zone can be used as an option select, same as every other 600 millisecond zone attack. It has the expected 100 milliseconds of guard break vulnerability. Now for the jabs. They are 700 and 1200 milliseconds respectively. I'll talk about the mix-up itself in just a bit, but for now the timings first. The patch notes say that you can cancel the jab 300 milliseconds into the move and until 300 milliseconds before the strike. The first one is correct, the latter isn't. I get a feint timing of 800, which means it's once again consistent with the 400 milliseconds before impact rule. And after I checked the footage, I even retried again to get the better timing. According to the patch notes, it should be 900, but I just couldn't get that. So my guess is it's a typo in the patch notes. On the other hand, if they changed the feint timing to be even later, then that would improve the mix-up even more, as it would be completely unreactable to everybody. But now the mix-up itself, you hear contradicting statements everywhere. Here are my findings. Please correct me if I made a mistake somewhere. You can backdodge jab and guard break and roll the charge jab on reaction. That is true, you can do that, but only under certain circumstances. If you block a heavy, then my previous statement holds true. And the same goes for if you get hit by a light. But if you get hit by a heavy, then the hit stun will delay your dodge long enough that a feint into guard break will catch your back dodge. Another thing I keep hearing is that people get light jab spam. I mean, the jab does stun for a bit and it does mask parts of the light indicator, but the next jab isn't obscured or anything. You can still use exactly what I explained before. You can back dodge it, no problem. Now for his heavy after a throw. People have been complaining that it feels clunky now, and yes, that's exactly what it feels like. These artificial delays might be necessary in certain cases, but they really should be a last resort. It feels awful, and in Centurion's case it has some implications with his wall throw. To land the fully charged heavy, you now have to maintain proper distance to the wall, otherwise the attack is dodge or parryable. The timing for the parry is really late, so once you have the chance, practice it with a friend. What else? Parries. You no longer get a normal heavy from a heavy parry. It's blockable on top attacks and side heavies will whiff. They do have a serious range issue. On a light parry, you do get the fully charged heavy with the pin now. There were also changes to the parry counter move, but I absolutely hate the input window for that and I refuse to test this as long as it's like that. There is absolutely zero reason to still have this clunky window. I understand that it had to be different back in the day when we still got guard breaks of parries, but now there is absolutely no reason for it to be this awful. Give him Jormungandr's parry counter window. And I guess that's it. Yes, I'm aware of the Eagle's talent stacking, but I can't really recreate this for reasons mentioned in Thursday's video. The changes we tested feel like only half of what the character should have gotten. His kick is still absolutely unusable and might as well not exist, for example. But yeah, I hope I covered most of the things you guys were interested in. Let me know if there's anything else. Testing grounds are still open for a few days, so I might be able to check more. I will still cover Gladiator and Warlord in another video, so please give me some extra time for those. Until then, I hope the video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Laters everybody.